We're on again.
We're back.
We're back again, the tours.
So where are we sat, Chris?
Where were we sat? Well, we're in a secret location, quite near my house actually. It's another one of Chris Orr's specials, I think. It's a luxury hotel near the castle.
Near the castle.
It's a castle in its own right actually, so...
Just out that door and just look up that hill.
Exactly, and there'll be a few photos on Twitter, so it's... but the reason you come to see me as well, I know you personally come to see me, but you're down this way, aren't you? You've been to an event.
Yeah, last night I was at the Village Hotel.
Right.
Metal Tiger, I think it was Junction 11, I think, on the M6.
Right. So how did that go? Was it alright?
Yeah, Paul Johnson's quite good. He did a good presentation.
Right.
Good turnout from the investors.
Good. Well, you phoned me up, and I was just going to go out and sort of kill something in my boots, my country boots. You see, for all the Londoners watching, this is a countryside. These are hunter boots. You see, this is what we do in the countryside. It's right. We shoot things, or we.
Don't go too far in that one.
Or not Levi things. I mean, but it's all kinds of wild animals. And but it's great meeting up again. So what we're here for anyway? We're here to talk about the oil price, aren't we? The shocking levels of the oil price.
We are, and obviously I want to touch on what your latest acquisition is.
Oh right.
If you're willing to talk about it.
Well, yeah, because that's been a bit of rumour around the city about that. Well, in the oil industry. Well, things got so bad. I was in London all last week, and the oil price has broken the psychological $30 Brent, which I'm hoping it's going to hold. Was hoping it was going to hold, but fundamentally we all know the reasons, so I'm not going to really go into that again today. But how do we get out of this mess? Well, I think there is light coming at the end of the tunnel. We've got Russia cutting production, we've got America cutting production, but we've got now Saudi Arabia flooding the market full on with its war with Iran, basically economic war with Iran. But what I would suggest is everything now is virtually in the price. I'm not saying oil cannot go any lower, because if you recall last time I talked to you, I thought oil was going to go to a worst case around these sort of levels. So let's just see. I think it's going to be an important week, a very important week for oil next week, to see if we can get back to $30 or if it breaks and psychologically goes to 25. But we're, all this talk about $10, that's mad. It's never going to happen. It's never ever going to happen. I'll tell you this right now, here and now. So, but I'm not calling exactly. Calling the bottom is how long is a piece of string. But what I do believe is we're going to bottom this quarter, what I've always said, and then you'll find by the end of this 2016 we'll be going up again. We'll be going up, and hopefully it depends, and it's the old saying, how low it goes economically, how better it is. The lower it goes, the faster it is going to be an upturn. And the other thing is, what we're not counting, nobody's counting, is the political storm, the political risk. And everybody says, oh well, there's 3 million glutted, and all this business, and it's not being counted in. But I don't know the political risk. I don't know if there's going to be a civil war spring up in Saudi Arabia, or I don't know if there's going to be a giant war that happens in South America at some point. There are uncertainties that will force the oil price up. But actually looking, you can say, discounting everything else, we are going to bottom this quarter. And I think, personally, I'm hoping it's going to be around these levels. But, let's wait and see, because as I say, it's brave of me to come on now, because it's far easier me coming on next week, when we really do find out if it goes down to 25 or goes up to 30. But that's the outlook. But I'm saying it's going to bottom this quarter, so that's March 2016. And then it's going to, I'm not saying we're going to zoom up and it's going to, but I'll tell you, in 2 years' time, we're going to see $150. I'll tell you this, in 2 years' time, we're all going to see $150 a barrel again.
I think
because you know the glut, because everybody's cutting, everybody's doing, the glut will dry out in the next year, and then people think, well, it'll just be a repeat of what happened in the past, and you always look to the past for the future. And what we're in is the end of 2008. Now coming into 2009. The good news is already gold and silver a little bit recovering. I feel that's getting better, because I don't think the dollar's going to hold on this year its strength. I think that's going to go down. As I said, oh well, look, our lunch is coming in, so that's already, yes, that's fine. That's you can be on the. This is a sort of, there we go.
Thank you.
There we are. Oh gosh, that looks
Enjoy.
lovely. That looks lovely. Enjoy. Well, because this is a lunch with ABM. And who's paying for the lunch? It's Chris Orr, probably. Exactly. Well, I've been doing quite well actually lately, so people don't realise this. I mean, I don't spend my time, you know, Chris, there's all these people on Twitter, and I don't spend my time on Twitter. I don't spend my time in, you know, TV stations all day or all this sort of thing. So this is a good catching up. I'm spending my time, I'm going, you know, all over the place in London and different parts of the world.
Picking up on that then, the Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't think people look at Twitter and they don't actually look at it. When people write stuff or they put photographs on, they don't pick up on what they're looking at.
No.
So for example, you can answer this question or not.
Right, okay.
So I don't look all the time, but I seen you put one picture up in particular that caught my eye.
Yeah.
And you had two ladies at the front, and you were stood in the rear, and the blonde-haired lady.
Oh yes, the blonde-haired. You mean in my London visit last week?
Last week. So I looked at that picture, and the only people that would look at, they would see the two girls at the front. Yeah. In the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, that was Sexy Fish. It's very hard to get in there, but anyway, carry on.
But you wouldn't notice the girl who stood next to you in the back.
No, exactly.
And that is Twitter.
Well, that's
people don't pick up on who that is.
No. Well, who that is it's quite an interesting story, but I won't go into it.
Okay.
But let's say.
Which country?
Well, Saudi Arabia. It's links with Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
So that's all I can say. Right. But it looks really interesting anyway.
Anyway, that's your Twitter.
That's my Twitter. But you know, all this business. I'm not, you know, buy sell. This 2016. The Twitter is being taken over just by bulletin people and ramping or whatever they're doing, or de-ramping. What I'm doing is getting on with my own thing, and people can still look at my Twitter site, and I put on my blog, one of my last blogs, that this year is different from last year. This year is all about me doing my own thing, making, you know, quite a lot of money like I used to, you know, just having a good life. And if people want to look at what I'm doing and they somehow benefit, that's great. But frankly, if you want to buy or not buy, or I'm not even really putting all my trades. There's 100, you know. Last year, people go on, they think they know my positions. They don't. I was in hundreds of good stocks in the last 6 months that have made me hundreds of % return. People don't know about them because I keep them undercover, and that's it.
No, yeah.
You know, I mean, but you know, if they all want to think I'm just in MXO and or whatever, that's it. But that's just, you know, that's the stuff I want them to look at.
So I'm going to pick up on, for example, we're both the same frame of minds.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, you look at what he's doing last week, the oil stock he's buying, the big one last week, and it's probably the West kept secret going, was Premier Oil.
Yeah.
They got suspended, but the secret was already out.
Yeah, well, the secret, well,
you know,
I can't.
It was just ridiculous.
I can't say too much about that because that's, you know, it's looking really good. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's looking really good. So viewers will have to make their own opinion on what that is.
On Premier Oil, yeah.
On Premier Oil. But yeah, on Premier Oil itself, or whether I'm in or not, but it's... let's face it, the Moët Chandon's coming in the castle soon, I tell you. But Premier Oil is really good. I tell you, operational cost $16 a barrel. Bonds, they don't have to repay them till 2019. Okay, this deal that they've done just blows them out of the water. I tell you, in 2 years' time, you're looking at £3 a share. £3 a share. So
and they go to the LSE again.
Gosh. I mean, don't bother with your AIM stock. Just, you should have all got in Premier Oil, but there were only a few brave people that did, and I've got a smile on my face. So but
well, it was over the past year. I think it was 1.90p, and now it's down to 19 pence.
Yeah.
It's and obviously.
Well, there was a few brave people that bought.
You've got about the Falcons in the future. What Rockhoppers doing now.
There's
a
few brave people that bought in sub 20p, but
That's just
I just don't know who they were really who bought in sub 20p, but they must be geniuses. They must be geniuses. Anyway,
it's one for the pension. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, one for the pension. Yeah, that's
all right. Stick it in your sip.
Stick it in your sip and ISA. Yeah, but what else do you want to talk about? So we've talked a lot about that. We talked about a few of the lower, not the lower grades, but let's talk about the AIM market. And I think there's still big potential in the AIM market. I think there's really interesting stocks in the AIM market. I think the gold and the silver is about to. Anything mining in that sector, that could be really interesting. I think different sort of things, I think even sort of rare earth and things like that's going to sort of take different aspects are going to take off soon, and I think is really interesting. I also think oil is very interesting. As I've always said, it's going to bottom, and when it does, I mean, you've got let's have a look. Ithaca, I mean, that's what is it now, 18p, something like that. I mean, if the trouble with Ithaca though is if the banks pull, then you're going to be in the trouble. The thing about Premier was they were never going to pull, so there is a slight concern, but the Stellar's coming down, and so
but they have over was it $1.2 billion credit facility?
Yeah, well, Premier do when they're undrawn, so that is just undrawn. Oh yes, somebody's rubbing their hands with glee, and I can't say who it is, but oh Jesus, that is
that's when it dropped. I watched it drop. It dropped about 30%.
Yeah.
And it was just, I put it out in the Twitter account, and I was looking at it. And nobody likes oil and gas and all the rest of it. And I was looking, I was thinking to myself, and I was putting direct messages out to the lads, and I said, have a serious look at this, because when the bounce comes,
it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. But anyway, and I think that's still, when it comes back, I think it's well worth buying, because it's you've got to look at it. You've got to look at it in the sense of it. In this year, it was £1.75, £2. 2015. You look at it a year before, it was about £3. And then you can say, oh well, it's the oil price. But this is what we're talking about. If you're of the opinion, if you get away from whatever you feel the oil price is going to now, in this quarter, argue it's $20, 25, or we're near bottom now, whatever. It's not going to 10, I can tell you that, but it's going to look very interesting in 2 years, certainly for a pension or something like that. It's a bit like,
you can save the Falklands, that'll come on. 2019, 2020.
Yeah, but
and the British government, politically, the Falklands, they want that. It's so cost effective. Yeah, and it's so cost effective.
Isabel as well, the discovery
and the tax situation in the Falklands is so low.
The Isabel, this recent discovery, is going to be bigger than Sea Line down there, and it's going to create big farms. But even if you put the Falklands aside, because I know people have issues about the Falklands.
Politically,
Premier Oil is basically, there's a lot in the Far East, but it's a North Sea player, and it's just got some of the biggest assets, and it's bringing on Catcher in 2015. That was Encore. Now I'll tell you this, there's only one person who knows all about the North Sea and Encore and nautical. I don't want to be big-headed, but that's me. I made an absolute fortune. I mean, that's one of the reasons, I funded half this commercial property empire. This is basically, and the family did, is basically Encore, nautical, and all these, and and basically Catcher, when that opens in 2026, is going to be absolutely massive. Absolutely, it's the biggest, one of the biggest North Sea light oil fields to come on. That, you know, as you know, so it's really interesting. So I'm really positive about that, and I'm positive about 2016. I know why everybody's upset right now, and I'm not Chris or the guru that can tell you exactly which day, which hour, which second of when oil is in, but I'm telling you it's bottoming this year, I'm telling you it's bottoming this quarter, and knowing my luck it'll just bottom in April and everybody will tell me off. But this year, this is the year that I'm out. I'm going to Indaba, in February, early February. There's going to probably be some interesting pics of me doing some deals and all kinds of things with the South Africans, you never know. So you've just got to watch this space, and when I come back we'll do another video all about it maybe, and come back and talk about it then. So,
by the way, thanks for letting me come down and visit you.
Well, that's all right. This is
looks really nice actually.
Well, out there, well, just lean out. You can have a look. There it is,
it's lovely.
Abbey and and that's Malvern Theatre basically.
I'll tell you what, I'll just while you sat there,
right.
I'll just pick this up.
What are you going to do?
No, just so the world can see it.
Oh, the world's going to see it. Oh gosh, go around there then.
This is the view.
Right.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I know. The world and its, and everybody's seeing it.
Chris is home.
Chris is home, well, near his home. So
near his home. Right.
And we'll be rounding it all off, I think, now, because I've got to tuck into this and it's going cold.
Okay.
And you've got to tuck into that and it's going cold. So,
thanks for talking to LSE Share Talks.
That's all right.
All right, Chris.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.